I'm Jonathon Hendry, the new artistic director of Fortune Theatre, the world's southernmost theatre. We've got Kings of the Gym by Dave Armstrong packing them out currently. 1 week to go with only 2 seats left tonight, but there are seats available for the rest of the week. On opening night, I took some time with our guest designer Sean Coyle to talk about how he designed the set for Kings of the Gym and found out he had a very special relationship to Dunedin.
Sean, great to have you here.
It's lovely to be here.
Have you worked here before?
Never.
Oh.
Never. Although I did live in Dunedin. I went to art school originally in Dunedin, 20
yeah, a little while ago. Hey, so we're in this amazing, evocative set.
Yeah.
Where did you get the inspiration for this? This just takes me back so strongly. And what sort of things did you think about in terms of creating this world, Laurie's world?
Yeah, well, it is very much Laurie's world. You know, Laurie's. I'm sitting in Laurie's desk at the moment, which is lived in. You know, he's been here for 20 years in this school, and I really wanted to just create an environment that was sort of had Laurie at the heart of it. And so the positioning of Laurie's desk here really is, you know, centre of the stage as well, even though we're sort of playing with angles and stuff here. But I sort of wanted his space to be full of Laurie, to have some history of him being here. And then the rest of the set to sort of, to be an offshoot of that. So Pat's world over there is slightly more organised, slightly less lived in. And then there's this sort of, the other part of the set is this sort of, there's a sort of more empty world over there that gets inhabited by the newcomer into the team.
I was struck when I saw the actors working on it the other night, the way that you've managed to create this perspective for the gym down there. You really believe that the gym is down there. Is this based on a gym you actually knew? Did you?
No, I did a lot of, I guess, research online, looking at gyms, looking at the architecture of gyms, and it's quite specific in Dave's writing as well that this set, the office is elevated so that they can look down on the class that's happening below. So I always had that in the back of my mind when I was thinking about how I would create this environment, and I did a lot of work with Patrick talking about that. And you know, originally the set was the original design for the set was a lot more detailed and had some other levels within the environment, and to get more of a sense of being elevated and looking down, and had a little balcony outside there that they could look and work with. But we just sort of kept paring it down really to in a way simplify it, but just to really make it less architecturally busy, if you like, and just make it more starting from Laurie. So, you know, really it was an interesting, I guess, design process, because, you know, we started from this position that I'm sitting
yeah.
which is Laurie, and Patrick had this great idea. He said that he felt that Laurie should be able to, from his position, be able to do everything, like he can swing around and open the window with his foot if he wanted to. And he sort of created this world around him and have his TV and his things within reach, because, you know,
yeah,
he's a bit of a lazy bastard.
Hey, so when you've designed for what, about 25 years now?
Yes, yeah. I think so. And yes, and actually, interestingly, the first play I ever designed was in Dunedin when I was a student. For the University Drama Society, for Simon was directing a production of Stags and Hens by Willie Russell.
Yeah, I know that play. Yeah.
And so it's really lovely to, and that sort of got me inspired. And when I was, I remember 25-ish years ago, being an art student, and I sort of got in trouble at art school because I didn't do much art, and spent all my time doing drama and, you know, hanging around at the university in the drama department, even though I wasn't doing drama at university. And I remember thinking, this is not really what I want to do. I really like studying at art school, but I'm really interested in theatre. So I remember marching into the Fortune one day and saying, "Oh, can I speak to Campbell,
Yeah.
because my dad had known Campbell back years ago, and went in and saw him and said, look, I really want to work in theatre, I want to be a set designer, I've decided. And he was fantastic, actually, and offered me a whole lot of advice. And and then I left art school and went to Tuiwhekari the next year. So
Awesome. So there's a strong Dunedin connection.
yeah, absolutely. And as well, when I went to Tuiwhekari, I was living in Dunedin, obviously, and I had my interview for Tuiwhekari here on this stage, but with, I can't remember the man's name that did the interviews down here, but we had to have the interview in the dark because he was like a technical lighting genius, but he couldn't find where to turn the lights on if no one else turned help. So we sort of sat in the dark, half seeing each other, and had our interview, and then I ended up going to drama school the following year.
And you've designed a lot of work. And when I was thinking about talking to you today, I mean, this is a very naturalistic set. Obviously, Stags and Hens are set in 2 toilets, the male and female toilets. Your first design, very naturalistic. But you've done work that has been really at the cutting edge of new work, new Māori work, new Pacifica work, new Pacifica musical like The Factory, which recently went to Edinburgh. I'm thinking work with ATC like Paniora, Have Car Will Travel, which was an awesome show, Māori play. Ranter's Tantrum that Victor Roger, who's in town at the moment, did. And what draws you to that sort of work, which isn't so naturalistic?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I've been really quite blessed in having some amazing new plays to work on over the years, and those ones that you mentioned, fantastic as well. One of my favourite design jobs would have been Hui as well, which is...
so that was the Auckland Arts Festival?
Auckland Arts Festival, the same year that we did premiered The Factory at the festival as well, which was a really exciting play. But I feel blessed to have, been able to work and, in a way, start in theatre with, some of my peers, my friends that have gone on to do amazing things.
So when you say that, you're thinking of...
I'm thinking like Mitch, Tuffy Thomas, Rachel House, who we've sort of worked together for... We were at drama school at the same time and have been sort of friends and collaborators ever since.
Do you think that sort of early time working, say, being a friend and knowing Rachel, for example, from drama school, or Mitch, is important in terms of the way that you work? Does it change the way you work?
Yeah, I think it is. And I mean, there's I think when you work in theatre over a period of time, you have collaborative relationships that are really great and that are challenging as well. What works. You are able to, without sounding cliched about the whole collaborative form, but you are able to bypass a lot of the small talk, if you like, and really get to the point. And so, and it doesn't happen very often in a career. Like, it hasn't happened that often with me. I've worked with fantastic people over the years, and there's a small handful of people that you think, oh yeah, I'll always work with them because they're great and they understand me and I understand them.
This might be a tricky question, but what do you think? What do you see as your job as a designer? What's your job?
Well, it varies and it continues to change now, and for a long time, and I think, starting in theatre when I did, we thought about serving the director, serving the writer, as the basis for design, and that has changed, and there's something that I think I'm really interested in looking at other methodologies for working, as well as that as well, because obviously there is certain shows that you work on that tried and tested method works, but I'm really interested, and some of my own research I'm doing is looking at other hierarchies within theatre and performance and visual arts, actually, that sort of challenge that that model and create new ways of working.
So just picking up on that, we're lucky to have you here because you are currently researching. What are you up to?
At present, I'm just about to enter the second year of my PhD, which is I've been crapping onto people for years that, I'm going to do a PhD one day, and everyone rolled their eyes. But I'm fortunate, I've got a scholarship to the University of Tasmania, and doing a PhD that's looking at what I was just talking about before, which is looking at performance, scenography and photography, and looking at it from a practice-based research perspective. So,
awesome. And you've also been instrumental in the training of a new generation of Pacifica performers. You were head of school of the Pacific Institute of Performing Arts for what, about a decade?
12 years.
12 years.
Well, 12 years I worked there. PIPA, Pacific Institute of Performing Arts, was not initially what the institution was called. I mean, it started as a foundation, level 3 foundation course that we used to run in South Auckland and Otara. I came on initially as an industry advisor on that new certificate that was developing, and then I sort of became a tutor on it, and then from there I guess I became the program leader of it, and myself and Goretti Chadwick, we built it into what is now known as PIPA, Pacific Institute of Performing Arts, which was an amazing journey that I had for those 12 years, starting from something very small and growing it into where we really felt there was a need, and that was to have a Pacific-focused performing arts training institution in Auckland, the biggest Pacific city in the world, and it hadn't existed. It was the first of its kind in the world, and I had such an amazing time during those 12 years. It was incredibly sad to leave, but I sort of got to that point, and amazing staff there, continue to have amazing, inspiring staff, and I just really felt this urge to do some of my own research, and I'm still obviously connected. I'm part of the academic board there, and
you're delivering your degree for the first time this year.
Great news, just been made public today, actually.
Wow.
Awesome. That the first ever Bachelor of Performing Arts Pacific has been granted, and will be run from March this year. So it has been fantastic news, and that's been a whole lot of work over a number of years to develop that.
Well, your graduates are a force, really, aren't they? I mean, you really feel the shift that's happening in this country, and I hope that we can get some down here in Dunedin. But
well, actually, I just remembered when I said that I hadn't worked at Fortune before. Is that Dave Armstrong, his adaptation of Sia for Girls, Where We Once Belonged, which was originally a graduation production for PIPA. We toured it down here, actually, and it did perform here on this stage.
Wow.
During the festival, I can't remember, maybe 5 years ago.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
4 years ago. Yeah.
Wow.
After we went to Brisbane,
to
the World Festival of Theatre of World Festival.
Hey, just to close off, because we've got our preview night tonight, eh? So we need to get ready for that. But just to close off, this is a silly question, but if you were to, once you've done your PhD and you've if you were to have a dream job in 5 years, where do you see that being?
Oh God, I really don't know. It would be a job that allows me the flexibility to do, obviously jobs like this, freelancing, but also that allows me to spend some more time developing my research. So, within an institution somewhere that, that values the artist as researcher, and that allows me to keep my, toes in the water with theatre and what's happening in Aotearoa.
Awesome. Have to get you down here at Otago University.
Oh yeah.
Hey Sean, it's been fantastic having you down here, and thanks for the brilliant work. And let's get ready for the preview.
Yeah. let's do it.
See you soon at the theatre.